Hi everyone, I'm Saul Sunforge and this is Dungeons and Taverns. Today's video is going to be on fall damage. In D&D, fall damage is a very real threat to adventurers, whether it's falling while climbing up a mountain side or being pushed from a wall or being picked up by a flying creature such as a dragon, carried to a higher altitude and then dropped. You're an evil DM if you do that, but I like your style. Rules as written, each 10 feet that you fall is 1d6 worth of damage. If you fall 9 feet or less, there's no damage. Adventurers typically experience short falls, and so that's why it's 10 feet or more for damage. The maximum fall damage is 20d6, which is 120 points of potential max damage from your fall, even if you fall higher than 200 feet. This doesn't account to if you fall into something like a vat of acid or a pool of lava. Those things will be covered in a different video. And your DM has a lot of leeway involved with falling. Say that you're falling onto a hard surface, or if you're falling into water, for instance. Your DM may rule the damage types differently. Now, for flying creatures, it works a little bit different. If a flying creature is reduced, their speed is reduced to 0, not by their own accord, as in terms of movement. If they're knocked prone, then they start to fall. The only way they don't fall is if they also have the hover condition, which allows them to stay afloat in the air, even though their speed has been knocked to 0 and they're knocked prone. They're still in the air. There's a few ways rules as written to mitigate your fall damage. A lot of them have to do with classes and magical abilities. Of course, you probably assume that. Barbarians rage while they're falling, while they're raging, reduces their fall damage by half, because fall damage is considered bludgeoning damage, and when you're raging, it reduces your bludgeoning damage along with the other types of damage, slashing, piercing, by half. The rule doesn't specifically state that the damage is halved only from weapon damage. If you're a magic user and you have the spell Featherfall, that will allow you to gently glide down to the surface of the ground, bypassing any fall damage that you would receive, so this way you don't become a stain in the ground. A potion of Cat's Grace or the enhanced ability, the Cat Grace portion of that, will negate the first 20 feet of your fall. So this way you don't start counting fall damage until you hit 30 feet and more. So it will take away 2d6 of that fall damage. However, rules as interpreted, that means that you could still get to the max of the 20d6, but you would have to fall 20 feet further to reach it. There's magic items such as the Ring of Featherfall, which essentially acts as the spell Featherfall does, that will negate all the damage just like Featherfall would. A really cool and creative way is if you're, depending on how far you're falling, if you get a turn while you're falling, is that you can teleport out of a fall and either teleport to the ground below or you can teleport back to where you fell from. Another one would be a monk's slow fall feature, where they reduce their damage by 5 per level. So a level 5 monk would reduce their damage by 25, and a level 20 monk would reduce their fall damage by 100. In most instances, this is going to completely negate the damage depending on the roll. I do love creating my own homebrew rules. I do test them first to make sure that they fit in, and fall damage is not an exception. I do have a homebrew rule for fall damage. I rule that there's a difference between a character willfully falling a distance versus an unexpected fall from a shove or a push or a throw, however it may happen. For expected falls, I allow your Constitution bonus times 5 to negate that damage. So if you have a Constitution bonus of 5, then you can fall 25 feet before you even start to take any damage. And then of course you have to fall at least 10 feet in order to get that 1d6. So if you have a con bonus of 5, you only take 1d6 after you fall 35 feet. I also don't let Barbarian's Rage factor into unexpected fall damage, because being angry really shouldn't grant you benefits to withstand all that extra damage. However, if it's an expected fall, I do allow rage to be effective, because rage is really sort of like an adrenaline rush. That's the way I think of it. And so, if you're expecting the fall, you can, your adrenaline will carry you very far. Just like in real life, you can see, mothers lifting cars and things like that off of their child. So, the adrenaline rush makes it so that you shrug off the effects of any of the damage that you would receive. Well, that's it. That's all I have. If you enjoy this type of shorter, more concise video style, let me know in the comments below. As always, I will join you in the comments below and answer any questions you have related to this subject or any other 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons subject you may have. If you have questions for the Tavern Talk sessions, then also you can send them to me in Twitter or on Facebook, or leave them in the comments below and I'll pick them up and we'll address those on our Tavern Talk segments once I have enough questions to film it. So, I'm Saul Sunforge. Thanks for watching Dungeons and Taverns. Please leave a follow and a like if you enjoy this, and let your friends know. Thank you and have a great day.